like super red because I just came in from my walk and it's like cold outside. But today I woke up. I slept in after 2 days of waking up like kind of early and like getting right to the day. And I woke up with this like intense guilt for just like resting, which is like terrible. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna ignore it and like stay in bed for as long as I can until I feel um like terrible. So then I got up and took a really long shower just to like I feel like showers, bro. The shower is literally a portal, bro. Like showers are literally portals. Like you can feel one way and then go into a shower and like especially if it's like really hot and steamy and like just like come out and feel completely different. Like bro, the shower is literally a portal um to like an alternate dimension or something. But I came out feeling pretty good. I was bumping tunes and I was like, yo, I want to go for a walk because I was still feeling like kind of like I don't know, like just weird. There's no real word to describe it, just like weird. Um, and I walked, and the town I live in is so like it's weird. Like I don't think I hate it here as much as I think I do, or or as much as I think I'm supposed to. I think I did when I was growing up, when I was younger and going to school and things like that. But it's like I think right now it's more of a thing of like, oh my god, like you're 22 and you've never left your hometown, like you know what I mean. And I've obviously left my hometown for like vacations and things, but like for an extended amount of time, like I didn't go away for college, um, or anything like that. So it's like it's this feeling of like, yo, I should hate it here, but I don't think I do as much as I may think I do. It's weird, but yeah, I went downtown and I got um a croissant and a latte from this coffee shop, and I sat there and journaled for a bit. And when I walked in, um, uh, what's the song? You got the music and you don't give up. I don't know where my phone is, but we get what we give by like something. I don't. I forgot the artist or the band or whatever. Geese covered the song. I know that. That was actually what introduced me to the song. Like I've heard it before, but Geese like covered it, and I was like, "Yo, like this is crazy." But and during my walk, I was reminiscing on like my childhood and how like I think like as a kid like I was really afraid of everything. I was just scared of everything. Like it's like just anxiety through the roof. Like and I think like I was really thinking the thought kept like looping where it was like who was I before I was fear? Who was I before I was anxiety? And I really couldn't remember. Um, I have I've I have memories that were given to me by family members of me like posting up in the living room and having everyone sit around and me like performing songs and like me like jumping around and like fake preaching and yeah, like but I don't remember those things. Like they're you have memories that like your family members give to you pretty much. But growing up, a lot of my memories are just like being too afraid to do almost like anything, bro. So it's like I think part of that too, like in my later teen years and like early adulthood, it created like a deep anger and resentment at the world and at people around me. Because it's like I feel like I missed out on a lot of like formative experiences simply because I was too afraid. You know what I mean? And I think part of that is like growing up under religion and like you know fear the Lord your God, which I don't necessarily. And it's like obviously it's like a reverence or a respect, But that's even the thing where it was like I had so much like it was a fearful respect. It wasn't a reverence of like this thing is holy or the world around me is holy. It's like the world around me could kill me at any moment. Wow, that's crazy. You know what I mean? And I just spent so many years just afraid of everything and just playing so small. And I think when I really started to like kind of dive deeper into like self actualization and like you know this other stuff, like it created like an anger and a resentment. Um, and I was just pondering on that. And then when I got into the coffee shop and it was like, um, the song was playing, and I was just like, wow, like that's real. Like I have something, cause okay, so the lyrics of the song is like, you have the music and you don't give up, blah blah blah. Blah. You get what you give. Like you only get what you give, right? And when you're living in a state of fear, I feel like you give nothing. Like you literally don't give anything because you're so afraid of losing what it is you already have. You're so like closed off and so tightly guarded, so you don't give anything back and so you don't receive anything because that's how everything works. That's how this entire universe thing that we live in and that we are works. It works on, you know, the give and take, the flow of energy, right? You get what you give. So living in a state of fear, it's like you receive nothing, you know? And I think like the last couple of years, I've I have been living my childhood dream, right? Not the one I thought I put most attention on, but you know, the subconscious one that I wasn't ready to really engage with. The idea that it's like really I just wanted to be left alone. Really, as a kid, I just wanted to exist in my own world and not have to worry about anything outside of me, right? And so isolation and solitude, right? And now more recently as I'm like sort of more confident and able to stand in who I am as an individual, it's like, you know, you got to come out of isolation. You got to come out of solitude um in order to grow as a person. Like as much as like, you know, isolation and solitude like help you tune into your truth and tune into who you are as a person, kind of separated from societal standards and who your friends think you are and who your parents tell you you are and who the world tells you you are. It's like it creates this bubble where now it's like you're only it's like rumination where it's like nothing really grows in a vacuum, you know? And it is suffocating. Like I like overly being overly isolated and overly like relying on solitude is suffocating. Um and you forget how to be a person. So like going outside. So like today I had like just tiny little interactions like passing by a stranger and we exchange a smile and like I saw this lady screaming at like driving and screaming at the person in front of them and I was like, yo, like okay, like why like she's holding a cigarette and like screaming at her steering wheel. And then like, you know, I saw someone that um you know, I knew from my uncle's church that recognized me and he was like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, hi. And before like I used to hate those interactions because it's like, you know, we're not familiar. You don't actually know me. You know, I was a little angsty teenager and I was like, you don't know me. Why are you? You know what I mean? But it's like, it's nice to be recognized. It's nice to be acknowledged. Um, Even just subtly, even just briefly. You know what I mean? And I think what I was really chasing was like my own acknowledgement of my depth and of my like my fullness. You know, there's something deeply. This is just the craziest. I don't know how long I'm gonna ramble for, but this is just the craziest ramble. But stream of consciousness. But there is something deeply fragile and deeply deeply sensitive inside me, something that's worth protecting, and something that for the longest I was afraid of, I think. You know what I mean? And until I took the time to look at it and figure out, at first before I finish that thought, it's like at first, like, especially, when you go on the spiritual path and then you're like, oh, I'm an artist and things like that, and like you build all these like other identities, like, and other egos, um like, you try to figure out, okay, well, I have this thing inside me. How do I pimp it? To pimp a butterfly. Um, how do I turn it into something useful? How do I make it instrumental? You know what I mean, by the world standards. Um, and I think that's one layer of growth, right? But then, like, on top of that, it's like I don't need to turn this into anything. Like, I don't need it to be anything other than what it is. I just need to give it the presence and the attention and allow it to be what it is without trying to make it something that's useful in any way. You know what I mean? And I think that's like the human error the society is built on, where it's like we see it's like the memes where you see a beautiful forest clearing with like mountains and things, and you're like, damn, yo, a shopping mall and a huge parking lot would be amazing here. You know what I mean? Where it's like, how do we make this thing instrumental? How do we make this thing have some type of like value um to society? You know what I mean? Or it's like, bro, like, I think I think everyone just needs a breather. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. I think life is more about. I didn't even get to like the main like topic that I wanted to even like discuss on here, but whatever. Um, we're destroying perfectionism. We're destroying perfectionism. We are actively destroying perfectionism because nature is not perfect, and because it's not perfect, it is perfect. You know what I mean? Nature is not organized in these neatly divisible categories and this like nice little web that we like to make out of it. You know what I mean? But it's an intricate system that works with each other by just everything just playing their part and just being what it is. You know what I mean? And not trying to be what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, imagine, yo, and this is just another tangent, but like, yo, if I want to be consistent with these videos, I'm just gonna have to like, cause I can't do the whole editing and like writing and all that. Like, I just literally cannot, like, ADHD, bro. I don't know. But like, imagine a lion was committed to the idea of being the king of the jungle, and now the lion is like subjugating every other species, you know what I mean, to his will. Like, no, bro. Like, the lion is not above the gazelle just because it eats the gazelle. The lion, there's no hierarchy in nature. You know what I mean? The lion just plays its part, right? Which is, I gotta eat. Like, you know what I mean? It's just playing its part. You know what I mean? And it knows it can't kill every gazelle because it won't have any food. Um, if it says, "Hey, I'm the king of the jungle. I'm gonna enslave these, you know, other species and like farm them," like, you know what I mean? So I have infinite food. Like, it just wouldn't work. Like, you know what I mean? I was gonna go somewhere else. Um, before I went there. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think life is more about. Oh, this could be its own video. I think this is gonna be its own video. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Come back next time to watch me ramble and talk about something. Hopefully, I'll be able to stay on topic because I actually have a concept that I want to really like kind of expand on and like talk about um just as it pertains to my life and the things I've like the tiny things I've discovered by being alive for 22 years. And yeah, and I don't have many friends to talk about this stuff with, so it's like, yo, why not just post it on the internet, bro? Why not just, you know what I mean? But yeah. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Um